Kind of a legendary stage because of the gravity of those shows that were performed here back in the day. So I think artists particularly love to come here and see this spot, and it's something we play often.
Well, for us, I mean, the hippest thing about the old theaters is that they're old. There's some history to them, and you just kind of get into that vibe.
You know, really, a venue, it all comes down to the sound on stage for me. And when I can really hear everybody and the stage sound is really, really good, it's a great night.
He really wanted to make this the best possible room technically that he could, to sort of make this blend between a classic old beautiful theater and a modern rock palace.
Sometimes they see you, just now they don't. Maybe this is a lucky day, a penny on the way home. Look between the clouds for cover, raindrops hide in the sea. Pornography of the heart, a well-executed smile, the wind and sand and the stars, words moving in translation, roses under a glass, all the future slipping by.
So the Capitol was built in 1926 as a vaudeville theater, and really initially it was not designed for musical concerts at all. It was one of the first air-conditioned theaters ever built. You know, theaters in those days were sort of assembly points, and this is where people came to get out of the heat and chill out here. From 1926 until about 1970, it was used principally as a film theater. In 1970 and 71, a guy named Howard Stein ran some big concerts here. A lot of bands, famous rock and roll bands. It was sort of the heyday of the theater back then. Somewhere in about 2008, Pete Shapiro was tipped off that this might be a great place to have some concerts. The renovation process started pretty much immediately. We already had Bob Dylan signed up to be our opening night. So there's a lot of things we had to do. And we spent basically 6 months every single day with multiple crews in here, completely redid the audio in here and made a permanent installation, same with the lighting, so that, in theory, artists, when they came in, wouldn't have to take all the gear off their trucks. We'd be able to minimize the amount of back and forth. When the theater was being built, there were a lot of squirrels around Portchester at the time, and some of them probably shacked up somewhere into where this was. So the artists, seeing all of these, squirrels, have said, well, let's put some permanently into the theater so we can remember them. We've made the squirrel our mascot as a direct result of having so many squirrels in the building. In 70 and 71, there were a couple of runs now considered epic by Deadheads at this Capitol Theater in Portchester. The fact that these legendary shows had happened here really helps build a following amongst fans of that band and, sort of by extension, fans of jam bands. The build-up for this was great. We'd wanted to do Widespread Panic here for quite some time. I remember how excited we were when we saw it on the lineup sheet, and then as we got closer and closer to the date, you see the outpouring of all the fans who are making things that say Capitol Theater and Widespread Panic. So we were super enthused just to get it, get the shows up and on sale. Boom, they sold out in a heartbeat. No surprise. So, what more can you ask for? Getting a band like this, in a place like this, on the stage, and then having it execute as well as it did, we couldn't be happier here at the Capitol.
On the creative end, the only real rule of thumb I think that we follow, and it's not really spoken or, you know, we didn't name it, it's to take inspiration from wherever it may come, from obviously whoever it may come through, and work in a very giving and collaborative atmosphere. So if something starts to take shape, that you let it grow into what it's going to grow into, you know.
It's pretty much a rudderless ship in terms of the songwriting. It's not like somebody says, I got a song, everybody play this. You know, it doesn't happen that way. But it comes down to the groove, you know. You get the drums and the bass and Sonny on the congas, and they lay down this groove, and it all just takes off from there. You know.
Every generation has folks that dig their music served up like this, with a little bit of adventure and not knowing exactly what you're going to get. So now we're, you know, some of the kids and grandkids of the people that we grew up playing and partying with. Thank goodness for that. The audience is they're gonna be who they're gonna be, and if you just take care of business on stage, then that's the way it's gonna come out. If you go with this intention of capturing their attention or having them like you, you know, you're probably gonna forget how to play, you know, music. If the music of the evening is offered responsibly, then the best communication that comes out of it, bottom line, would be with the individual communicating with themselves.
Yeah, you know, I remember last night it happened on a song called Slipping Into Darkness, and it was just kind of dialed in, you know, where it just locks in, and you could just see in the audience, and they were just, you know, feeling it. But there's no words to really describe it. But yeah, when it happens, you know it. Yeah.
If you're doing it right, most of the songs are born out of a certain, I've got to keep experiencing or reliving or exploring this feeling. Specifically, Mike Hauser is still present when we're playing. Sometimes you can hear phantom sounds. You can hear him singing and you can hear him playing. You go through a little photo album in your mind of, you know, times you had together when that song was being written. put a set list together these days because we've got a lot of songs to work from. We like to spread it out. There'd be a little discussion or a little consideration when you're putting a set list together for flow and key changes and sympathetic keys and stuff like that. But for the most part, once you start, you have a little guideline, but then you like to let it be as loosey-goosey as possible without being stupid. You might be having a similar dream with your buddies and you just go there. That's usually accompanied with a lack of self-awareness where you're into the music and you're into what's transpiring. But it's like meditation. If you try to stop back or go, hey, I've got it, oh crap, you just lost your point of focus. It goes in ebbs and flows within the band and within individuals in the band as far as, where your attention is.
I just kind of listen, and when somebody changes, I just, Dwayne is really good at, saying, okay, everybody, we're now going into the next part. He's really good at that. So
sometimes certain songs feel a little better. That a little extra magic might creep out of one that makes you feel a little more enamored with that song after the show's over. But if you get this intuitive sense that everybody is really listening, and that's a feeling beyond being able to just look around and guess. It's like a feeling that you're all in the same boat and really full-on attention. That's what brings the color to all the songs.
I never get tired of Chili Water. I just never get tired of it. I don't know, there's something about it. When I was in another band in Mississippi, and somebody said, you got to hear this band called Wiseford Panic. And they put on Chili Water, and I just like, oh, great song, cool. And then we played it, and there was a lot of response and reaction, kind of emotional out of the audience. I was just hooked, so.
Once more I feel the sunrise. There's a dark breeze on my door. Raise water on the wheel to my face. I could have been like that before. Lord, there's water. Oh, chilly well water. Come on, give me some of your love, cool water. Horses are the classic. April said I needed a bottle of long last night. That I needed a natural body to trump to regain at night. Me rooster crowing loose hell. You're really rendezvous. In the morning sky and rays of sunshine, and rainbow 3 weeks more. Long as you water, oh, chilly well water. Long, give me some of your cool water.
Jojo, when he first got with the band, he's like, he used to joke, are we going to play Chilly Water tonight? Because we didn't have that many tunes. And so it usually came around in the evening. I go, oh, wow. Why do you keep saying that? Because you play it every night. Oh, okay. You know, that's what New Blood's for. Improve on some old territory or find some new little offshoots. And I think the other guys are they got a little nostalgia to them too, so it works out okay.
Mm-hmm.